The TeknMotion mechanical metal lightning keyboard. That was a mouthful. So is it any good? I'm Rio Gion and welcome to Rio Gion Keyboards. This is without a doubt a gaming keyboard because just freaking look at it. There's these sidebars which are pretty cool with these little pseudo wrist rests that doesn't really do much for me. Then there's just these extra lines and curves that doesn't really need to be there. On the one hand, if you really dig this type of look, then this keyboard is like right up your alley. Because if you're a gamer and you're on a budget, then this is actually pretty good in terms of the aesthetics. The keyboard has this European layout which might be rough if you're trying to find keycap replacement in the US, but if you're in Europe, this is probably the standard layout for you guys. The floating key design is always great because it makes the keyboard easier to clean, and it's just a personal preference for me. Don't bring this keyboard to the office unless you really like the attention and you want to annoy people, because this does have a blue switch. There is a handlebar which is nice if you often travel to LAN parties. Then again, why don't you just buy a TKL? If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell for the latest content. Despite the keyboard using the orange switch, the stem is blue and it's clicky like a blue switch with a clear housing, and the light is on the PCB, which is nice because there's just way more expensive keyboards that have the light on top of the switch. Besides, this is your typical clone switch and the reliability is undetermined. Then again, you're not paying an arm and a leg for this, so you gotta set realistic expectations. Unless it breaks like freaking 2 weeks later, then you can go ahead and complain. I can't really find much information about the switch because when I type in orange mechanical switch, guess what pops up? The Razer orange switch, because you know why? Because it makes sense that an orange switch would be orange. In this case, the orange switch is blue. This keyboard doesn't use Cherry nor Co-Star stabilizers. In fact, there's just empty spaces. Two holes where stabilizers are, and this is different. This is very different. In fact, the keycap is made in such a way where they don't include the stems anymore, which is very interesting. Very interesting and different. Well, at least it still beats Co-Star stabilizers, at least in my humble opinion. The keycap game here is very strong. These keycaps are some of the nicer double shot ABS that are often found in the clone keyboards. I still find it funny how clone budget keyboards often have better quality keycaps than keyboards that are far more expensive in the mainstream. These particular keycap set is better than the others. If it didn't have this layout and this font, I think I would actually buy the keyboard just for the keycaps. The back is nothing to write home about because the flip-out feet does not have rubber on them, so the keyboard will slide when in heavy gaming and typing session. At least the cable is braided and you get cable management velcro, which is nice, but that's pretty much it. This is one of those keyboards that falls flat in the middle, where if I do use the keyboard I would enjoy it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to use it. There's this sinking feeling whenever you press the keys, which could be great for some, but for me, when I speed up I mistype more, which is different from using the other blue switches. The sound is nice and the tactility is definitely pronounced, but I don't get the feeling that I'm flying through the keys. This isn't a bad type of experience, but I wouldn't say it's a good one either, so your mileage may vary. At the end of the day, this is a budget keyboard that aims for a gamer that's on a budget. The blue switch really makes me think this is gearing towards typists, but based on the way the keyboard looks, it screams pro gamer. If you actually use this keyboard to play video games, then I guess FPS or RTS wouldn't be that bad, but it's also also not ideal. And you can forget MMOs because there isn't any macro functions or bank of macro keys. If you edit lots of videos, then this is also not right for you. So for $70 retail, would you even say this is a budget keyboard? I know that this price is getting pretty close to keyboards that are mechanical and have RGB. Should you swing for the fences with this keyboard, or the better move is to wait until you have more money for something else? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, if you made it this far into the video and you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to become part of the mighty notification squad. As always, you stay awesome.